Paramedics, what mistake did you make that cost someone their life? My lab partner wouldn't stop bragging about his EMT certification. Every class, he'd casually mention his extensive training while looking down on everyone else's safety practices. He'd strut around the chemistry lab like a self-appointed safety inspector, adjusting people's goggles and critiquing their technique while barely passing the class himself. You're holding that test tube wrong, he'd say. If that spills, I'll have to save your life. Our teacher seemed impressed by his confidence. I wasn't. His stories kept getting more outrageous. One day, he claimed he'd performed CPR on 3 people simultaneously during a mall collapse. The next, he apparently delivered twins in an elevator. I stayed quiet until our big lab demonstration day. The teacher asked for a volunteer to demonstrate proper chemical handling. My partner's hand shot up immediately. I've handled far more dangerous substances during my emergency response work, he announced to the class. He approached the front table with unearned confidence, snapping on his gloves with theatrical flair while explaining the proper medical technique to a classroom that had long since muted him mentally. Then he reached for what he thought was water. It wasn't water. It was phenolphthalein indicator solution. He spilled some on his hands and, despite wearing gloves, immediately panicked. "Is this an acid? Am I being burned?" he screeched, bolting to the emergency shower and yanking the handle with the panic of someone who just Googled their minor symptom. Water cascaded down as he stood there, fully clothed and soaking wet. Our teacher calmly walked over. That was just an indicator solution. Completely harmless. But interesting that someone with your extensive medical background wouldn't recognize it. The class erupted in laughter. He stood there dripping, his reputation dissolving faster than sodium in water. The next day, he quietly requested a new lab partner. Turns out his only medical credential was a 1-hour online first aid video he quit watching halfway through to diagnose himself on WebMD instead.